Have you ever wondered if there's any psychological basis to astrology? This question has been the subject of curiosity for many, and for good reason. Since the dawn of mankind, humans have looked to the stars with a sense of wonder and intrigue. The vast, infinite expanse of the cosmos has always been a source of mystery, prompting questions about our place in the universe and the potential influence of celestial bodies on our lives. Enter astrology, an ancient practice that attempts to interpret the cosmic dance of celestial bodies and their potential influence on our personality, behavior, and destiny. It's a practice that has been around for thousands of years, embraced by cultures around the globe. But what makes it particularly interesting is its psychological aspects, the ways in which it mirrors our internal world as much as it reflects the external universe. Astrology, in a way, is a psychological mirror. It offers a framework for understanding ourselves and others, our motivations, fears, desires, and the complex interplay of personality traits that define us as individuals. It's a tool for self-discovery, for understanding our inner workings in the context of a larger cosmic narrative. And this is where Carl Jung, one of the most influential figures in the field of psychology, enters the picture. Jung was intrigued by astrology and saw parallels between it and his own theories. He explored the concept of synchronicity, the occurrence of meaningful coincidences that seem to defy conventional explanations. He believed that these synchronicities weren't random, but rather were meaningful events that reflected the workings of the unconscious mind. Jung also developed the theory of archetypes, universal symbols or themes that are present in the collective unconscious of all humans. He saw these archetypes reflected in the symbols and themes of astrology. Astrology and psychology, then, are not as disparate as they might initially seem. Both seek to understand the human experience, one through the lens of celestial patterns, the other through the exploration of the human mind and behavior. With this in mind, let's dive into the foundations of astrology. To fully understand astrology, we need to travel back in time to its very origins. Imagine, if you will, a world where the night sky was the greatest spectacle and the primary source of illumination. This was the stage on which the first astrologers, the ancients of civilizations like the Sumerians and Babylonians, began their celestial observations. In those early days, the stars and planets were more than just beautiful points of light. They were characters in a grand cosmic narrative, each with their own tales to tell. The ancients watched as these celestial bodies danced across the sky, tracing paths that were as predictable as they were mysterious. Over time, patterns began to emerge. These early civilizations observed that the movements of the celestial bodies seemed to correspond with the rhythms of the earth, the changing of the seasons, the ebb and flow of the tides, and even the behaviors of plants and animals appeared to be in sync with the celestial ballet. The Sumerians and Babylonians began to record these celestial movements, compiling them into the earliest forms of astrological charts. These charts were not just for navigation or timekeeping. They were a way of making sense of the world, of finding meaning in the chaos of existence. As they delved deeper into their observations, the ancients started to connect the celestial events with occurrences in their own lives. A comet soaring across the sky might signify a great victory, while an eclipse could portend disaster. This was the birth of astrology, a system of belief that celestial events influenced the happenings on Earth. But this was more than just primitive superstition. This was a profound realization of our connection to the cosmos, a recognition that we are not separate from the universe, but a part of it. This was just the beginning of a journey that would eventually intertwine with psychology. The ancient observations evolved over time into complex systems that we now know as astrology. The Babylonians were among the first to systematize these observations. The celestial omens they meticulously recorded became the foundation of astrology. They observed the sky, tracking the paths of the stars and planets, and began associating these movements with events on Earth. As civilizations grew and evolved, so did their understanding of the cosmos. The Greeks, building upon the foundation laid by the Babylonians, developed horoscopic astrology. This was a significant turning point, as it incorporated the concept of time into astrology. Birth charts, or horoscopes, were created for the exact moment of a person's birth, linking their lives to the celestial body's positions at that specific moment. This Greek innovation was not just about astronomy. it was also deeply psychological. It suggested that the cosmos at the moment of our birth imprints on us, influencing our personalities and destinies. This was a radical shift, a step towards understanding ourselves in relation to the universe, not just as passive observers, but active participants. As astrology moved into the Roman era, it became more mainstream. Emperors and commoners alike consulted astrologers, seeking insights into their lives and futures. Astrology was no longer just for kings or priests. It was for everyone. Fast forward to the modern era, astrology continues to evolve. It now incorporates psychological elements, thanks to pioneers like Carl Jung. Jung's theories about the collective unconscious and archetypes have found their way into astrological interpretations. The 12 zodiac signs, for instance, are often seen as archetypal representations of human characteristics. In this context, astrology becomes less about predicting the future and more about understanding the self. It's a tool for introspection, self-discovery, and personal growth. It's a way to explore our psyche just as much as it is a way to explore the cosmos. Astrology had now become a mirror of the human mind, reflecting our innermost thoughts and feelings. Astrology and psychology may seem worlds apart, but they share a common philosophical ground. As we delve into the philosophical connections between astrology and psychology, we'll find that these two disciplines are not as disparate as they may initially appear. Both astrology and psychology are concerned with understanding the human experience, albeit from different perspectives. While psychology examines the human mind and behavior from a scientific standpoint, astrology offers a more symbolic and mystical interpretation of human nature. Now, let's bring in the theories of renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, who is respected for his pioneering work in analytical psychology. Jung's theories, particularly his concept of archetypes, have intriguing correlations with astrology. For Jung, archetypes are universal, archaic patterns and images that derive from the collective unconscious. These archetypes, Jung proposed, are innate and inherited, much like our instinctual behaviors. So, where does astrology fit into this? Well, consider the 12 signs of the zodiac. Each sign represents a distinct set of characteristics, behaviors, and tendencies. These signs can be seen as archetypal in nature, embodying universal patterns of human behavior and experience. Just as Jung's archetypes reflect the collective unconscious, so too do the zodiac signs represent shared human qualities and experiences. Jung himself was fascinated by astrology and saw it as a tool for gaining insight into the human psyche. He believed that the positions of celestial bodies at the time of one's birth could provide a symbolic representation of the individual's unconscious mind. In this sense, astrology serves as a mirror, reflecting our deepest selves back to us. In conclusion, while astrology and psychology may operate within different realms, they intersect on a philosophical level. Both disciplines strive to decode the complexities of the human condition, albeit through different lenses. Astrology, with its rich symbolism and archetypal imagery, offers a unique perspective on the human psyche. It provides a language, a symbolic language that allows us to explore the depths of our unconscious mind. Astrology, in essence, can be seen as a symbolic language of the human psyche. Astrology is not just about knowing your sun sign and reading daily horoscopes. It's a multifaceted discipline with layers of depth and complexity that often go unnoticed. Today, we're diving into the two main branches of astrology, exoteric and esoteric. Exoteric astrology is what you're most likely familiar with. It's the daily, weekly, or monthly horoscopes you see in magazines or online based on your sun sign. The focus here is on personality traits, love compatibility, and predictions for the future. It's a one-size-fits-all approach, commercially popular but superficial. It's like looking at a mountain from afar. You see the general shape and color, but you miss out on the intricate details. On the other hand, esoteric astrology delves deeper. It's less concerned with mundane predictions and more with the soul's journey and spiritual growth. It's like climbing that mountain, exploring its valleys and discovering hidden caves. Each individual's chart is unique, providing insights into their past lives, their present challenges, and their soul's purpose. Esoteric astrology is not as widespread because it requires a more profound understanding of astrological principles and a willingness to explore the self on a much deeper level. Understanding esoteric astrology can lead to self-awareness and personal growth. Just as a map guides a traveler, An astrological chart can guide an individual, shedding light on their strengths, weaknesses, and potential paths in life. It can reveal patterns, provide clarity, and offer guidance during periods of uncertainty. Remember, astrology is not a deterministic tool. It doesn't dictate your fate. Instead, it provides a framework for understanding yourself better and navigating life more effectively. It's a mirror reflecting your inner world, your aspirations, your fears, and your potential. In the end, astrology and psychology both seek to understand the human mind and its place in the universe. They are two sides of the same coin, offering complementary perspectives on the human experience. And that's the beauty of this ancient practice, always relevant, always evolving, always illuminating.